Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Uprising, and they're doing a really good job this season. It's another great episode, continuing what we've been laying the groundwork for, and also introducing some new kind of elements that we can look forward to. So, it started off with Yo-Yo at this bachelorette party in Miami, and out of kind of nowhere, after we get some cool allusions to like more magic and everything this season. I really like how they're putting little things. It's like we saw this dude doing magic tricks and everything. We're like, oh, this is going to be big. And this blackout occurs, but it's not a typical blackout because cell phones go down as well. A helicopter falls from the sky. So this is a kind of big thing. EMPs being used. And that's kind of our big kind of catalyst for what's going on. So we see that's occurring, and then we go back to kind of our main team back at S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ, and they get that going on, and they get that May's being sent to the CDC, and everybody's kind of like, kind of on edge with that, because Coulson's like, I want to help May, but the director Jeffrey Mace, is like, well, he's got to be impartial. I've really been liking this character. I want to be against him because he's kind of broken up the team, but he's doing things in a logical way, and he's being really good and nice about it, which makes me think there's going to be an ulterior motive at some point, but I just want a good guy to be a good guy. A little bit. But we'll see kind of where that goes, because multiple things are happening with the blackout, and then May's kind of every trouble that she's going with the ghosts and everything. And Simmons was on the phone like, you gotta tell me what's going on. They hung up on her, and then one of the triad people started going into cardiac arrest and died. And that's when Director Mace comes in and tells them kind of what's going on, that May's being sent to a facility to get help and everything, like exactly where she's going. And Coulson's like, I need to go there, but he's like, no, I need you on Miami. Things are going weird there. I need you to get this done. And then they're like, okay, so Coulson and his team are going to go and figure out what's going on with the blackout, and Simmons is going to kind of try and figure out what's going on with May. So that's where we kind of get divergent things going on, kind of three parts. That's our two-part, and then we got back to Robbie Reyes and Daisy, who are kind of talking about what's going on, that he's kind of connected to it because Robbie's uncle, Eli Morrow, worked at the Momentum Laboratory where everything was kind of going down. And that we find little bits that he's kind of, it's led to be alluded that he had sold his soul to get kind of vengeance on the people that crippled Gabe. So he's been using this to try and like get rid of it. He thought that would sate the spirit of vengeance, but it didn't. So he was going after other people, settling their scores, but it didn't. So that's kind of their plan that they were going to be doing, to visit his uncle in prison, because he had evidently killed someone who, in Robbie's mind, deserved it. So as they're about to do that, we see that LA gets blacked out as well. And as S.H.I.E.L.D. had gotten this video that it was supposedly a radical form of Inhumans that were doing it, though no Inhuman powers were kind of used or were discovered to be used at the moment in doing the blackouts, and they wanted registration to end. But it's kind of like, okay, this is pretty advanced for what they're doing, so it's a little bit difficult to believe that that's just the only thing going on. So that's how Daisy and Robbie get kind of tied up into it, because they start doing Miami, LA, London, Moscow, DC, and all that. And it's like, holy crap, this is pretty big and pretty advanced for just one Inhuman cell, if it would have been an Inhuman cell, and vastly greater than the number of Inhumans that we have so far known. And then we get back to the kind of May storyline, and she's kind of going nuts and everything, and they were able to kind of map her brain and figure out that she is in a perpetual state of flight or fight, and fear and everything, and Radcliffe's only idea is to pretty much do a reboot on her, i.e. kill her, let her brain go down to like the minimum threshold before she gets brain damage and revive her back, which is a smart idea, but harder than a computer because with a computer you usually have a likelihood of being able to turn it back on. With a person, when you kill them, that's even in controlled conditions, it's like really hard to bring someone back from death, kind of, but it's like, okay. So there's that kind of thing going on. It's like, I hope this isn't the end of May, though we haven't seen any illusions of that happening, but it was pretty effective to kind of do to kind of combat whatever this kind of thing is. Because if this is the only way to kind of fix that, they better find a better way. So that's kind of gotten going on, and they were able to kind of help her out, and they did reach the minimum threshold, but right as it did, that's when the DC blackout hit, and they didn't have any power, so Radcliffe took the battery from his life model decoy and put it up, and they were able to revive May. She's like, what the hell's going on? Where am I? It's like, she's back. It's like, yes. But as we were seeing her see those kind of visions with the eyes, it also kind of reminded me of some stills that we have seen, and also from the trailers of the main villain that we're led to believe, and Doctor Strange having kind of similar eyes. So I don't know if it's connected with him or not, but that would be kind of cool. So Coulson and his team get to Miami, and they find out that it is not just like an EMP that's just going off at once. It's regularly emitting pulses, so they have to try and figure out what's going on with that. So as they're trying to hunt and find Yo-Yo because they have to get her to safety, Yo-Yo has her own troubles to deal with, and that this group has come in to get the Inhuman that was at her location. It's kind of weird that they know exactly where an Inhuman's at, but don't know who it is. So Olsen and his team were able to get there and find out that these people were working with Watchdog, and they were able to do this cool action scene, and they were using the Inhuman registration, the superhero registration, to track these people down. So they had evidently gotten from another agency besides S.H.I.E.L.D., and that just goes to show that they really need protection with this. Yes, it's good to know who the powered people are, but if you've got a database of it, people can hack it, find out, and pinpoint on these people, and that's a dangerous thing to happen. And we find out that it's not a group of Inhumans doing this. It's Watchdog, who has grown from a domestic kind of thing in the U.S. to an international thing, going to like London and Moscow and everything. And that's a pretty dangerous precedent because we don't know who they are and what their goals are. Because they were able to shut off the EMP at the Miami site, but kind of led to, like, what are we dealing with now? Who are we dealing with? Who are these backers and what are their end goals? So then we get back to S.H.I.E.L.D. with them, and Mace is like, alright, we gotta get a handle on this, but I don't know if I want to roll out this plan that we've had. We're gonna be doing a little bit better job, but Coulson's like, listen, sometimes, like I learned from Fury, you gotta know when to change the plan. So that's when Mace goes on and says that S.H.I.E.L.D's the one that solved this crisis and working with Inhumans, thereby trying to drum up better publicity with it and also try and stave off the usual kind of Inhuman-human hunt, kind of similar to the X-Men and Mutants thing that would usually go on. They even had those kind of talking heads like, okay, we as humans are going to go extinct now. And it's like, okay, that's pretty good. We'll have to see how that goes out. So that's kind of where those storylines ended at the moment. We also saw a little bit more action going on with Daisy and Robbie as they went to pick up Gabe, because the blackout, people go crazy during blackouts because they think they can do whatever they want. And they were able to save Gabe in the nick of time, and Daisy had to use her powers, and it's really doing a number on her body because it broke her arm, and she's seeing the effects on it when she was at Robbie and Gabe's house. It was just like, wow, she really needs medical attention. I mean, she's using these fast healing drugs, but she needs help with using her powers. She can control them, but it's literally destroying her. And Gabe was even smart enough to figure out, like, I know you did something. I know you're an Inhuman, and it's fine, but stay away from my brother. He needs good people, and I don't think you're a good person. I was like, wow. I mean, Daisy's been doing her own kind of thing, but I don't think she's gone, like, completely a-hole yet, to the point where it's like, you know what, just from a look I can tell you're a bad person, so get away. We also saw, as they had gotten Gabe out of the blackout place, a pretty good fight sequence with Robbie and Daisy, as Robbie was pretty much using his. It was interesting to see how much control he had, because someone was pretty much like, alright, I want your car. So then you saw his eyes flash and his car turned red hot, and he's like, oh god, burning, and he just started whooping ass. And it was funny because Daisy's like, alright, was that it? He's like, nope, that was all me. And it's like, I'm really digging what they're doing with Robbie and also with Gabe. Gabe showed that he was stronger and that he views himself as looking after his brother. And that's a kind of interesting dynamic, and I'm looking forward to them exploring that, because it'll be probably Gabe that gets into trouble, that is going to probably push Robbie over the edge to go full on kind of Ghost Rider mode. And we got kind of more exploring of that, because Daisy's like, well, how do you heal? He's like, I don't know. I've been through all this stuff. I've been run over twice, and I'm fine. And that just shows how powerful he is. He's on a level that would be able to take on Thanos. He's that powerful, and it's cool to see that powerful of an entity on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because he's one of the heavy hitters you call in for mystical stuff. It would be kind of cool to see Doctor Strange at some point talking to him and all that, and then have like a mystical kind of Avengers Defenders thing, because they've got their own cool stuff. I mean, you've got the Avengers, you got the cosmic part with like the Guardians, and now you got the mystical part that we're going to have with Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange and any other kind of people that they put in, and it's really cool to see it being built on this show. So, that's my opinion on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.